Having a sense of liberation and empowerment in prison are not generally words you'd expect to hear. But this is how one inmate describes feeling as a result of having in-cell technology. Jon Briggs went to find out how UniLink's self-service devices are giving inmates more control over their daily lives.
As a guest of Her Majesty's Prison Service, not only are you removed from society, but in many instances you're also removed from the methods of 21st century communication that we've all adopted.
The prison service has been described as being in the dark ages of digital technology. This is because they've been run traditionally on paper-based systems.
It's hard to imagine what it would be like to be in prison if you haven't actually been there, to have every aspect of control taken away from you. But it's actually infantilizing.
They are usually very dependent on other people just to arrange the most simplest of things. You want to apply for a job, you're dependent on a piece of paper that has to be moved physically around the site to someone who then has to reply and send it back.
A normal large prison might have 1 to 2 million sheets of paper running around with prisoner requests. Imagine losing 0.5% of those. So that's several thousand requests getting lost.
UniLink has created a self-service biometric-enabled communication system which replaces the sheets of paper with a kiosk that allows prisoners to run their lives electronically.
In my previous prisons, friends have spoke about how much easier the kiosk made everything, how they reduced frustration and anger. And they weren't wrong.
Now, if you're in custody using the UniLink system, you can write the note and send it and it arrives. You know that it's arrived and you know that you're going to get an answer.
The system allows prisoners to monitor everything from their prison bank accounts and shopping requirements through to their choice of menu for the week, even booking in their visitors.
It was like going from the information blackout that is every other prison, where everything happens randomly and you never know what's going on from 1 minute to the next, to a place where you felt like you mattered.
And it's not just prisoners who benefit.
If you're the prison officer, you're no longer distracted by someone saying, "Please, boss, can you get this for me? Can you fix this for me? Can you get this information?" So the potential for stress, anxiety or conflict in lots of areas is taken away.
In a survey taken via the kiosks themselves, 55% of prisoners stated that they had better or much better control over their lives, and 32% stated that they had better or much better relationships with prison officers.
The contrast between a prison with and without a kiosk is like night and day.
Currently installed in more than 20 prisons in the UK and 20 in Australia, the impact is clear. A study by the University of York and University of Portsmouth looked at the number of disciplinary meetings with prisoners, known as adjudications.
We found there was a 20% reduction in raw numbers of adjudications. Obviously that number varied depending on the size of the prison population. That reduction is an indication that the prison is more of a calm environment, that there's less tension in the prison environment.
But what about those who might suggest that making life so easy for prisoners is not what prison is all about?
What do you want to achieve is the question I would ask those who say that you want prisons to be awful places. What do you want to achieve? People who are disaffected from society and will commit crimes again? Or do you want people leaving to be better educated, to have more contact with friends and family, and therefore much higher chance of getting a job afterwards, a home of their own, and therefore not to be reoffending?
It's a sense of liberation and empowerment that restores a man's pride. Gives him the hope that he can come out the other side of his sentence and be a better person.
We want people in custody to develop life skills that supports them when they come home. UniLink helps to do that.